Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivanidhari Jana Vallabha Girivanidhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivanidhari Vallabha Yasoda Nandana Brajagana Ranjana Nanda Brajagana Ranjana Yasoda Nandana Brajagana Ranjana Nanda Brajagana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivanidhari Vallabha Girivanidhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivanidhari Jana Vallabha Girivanidhari Yasoda Nandana Brajagana Ranjana Nanda Brajagana Ranjana Yasoda Nandana Brajagana Ranjana Nanda Brajagana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Pakavacharya Satarya Satashishima Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Anatta Gauda Vaishnavinda Ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Prem Sikho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasudeva Gauda Bhaktivinoda Ki ISKCON founder Srila Prabhupada Ki Shri Radha Krishna Gol Gopinath Shamakun Radhakun Giri Govardhan Ki Vrindavan Dham Ki Mayapur Dham Ki Navadvip Dham Ki Jamuna Mai Ki Ganga Mai Ki Tulsi Devi Ki Bhakta Devi Ki Shri Radha Golokananda Ki Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda Ki Gora Premanandi All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we're reading today Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 61, text number 7. Huh? 7? Yeah, that's Tesam ya dasa putranam. Tesam ya dasya putranam. Krishna Strinam Purodita. Krishna Strinam Purodita. Asta Mahishyas Tat Putran. Astra Mahishyas Tat Putran. Pradyumnam din Grinami te Pradyumnam dim Grinamne te Te samyadasya putranam Krishna Strinam Purodita. Asta Mahishyastat Putran. Padrumnadim Grinam Tete. Dasam Yadasya Putranam. Krishna Strinam Purodita. Asta Mahishrastat Putram. Prajumnadim Grinam Nite. Te Samyadasya Putranam. Krishna Strinam Purodita. Asta Mahishyastat Putran. Prajumnadim Grinam Nite. Okay. Tasam Yadasya Putranam. Krishna Srinam Purodita. Tasam, among those, Yaha, who, Dasa, having 10, Pruchanam, sons. Krishna, Strinam, the wives of Lord Krishna. Pura, previously. Udita, mentioned. Astal, 8. Mahishya, chief queens. Tat, there. Putran, sons. Thank you. Let's see. Prajumnam Adin, headed by Prajumna. Grinami, I shall recite. Te, for you. Translation. Among Lord Krishna's wives, each of whom had 10 sons. I previously mentioned 8 principal queens. I shall now recite for you the names of those 8 queens headed by Prajumna. Okay, I'll read Vishwanath. There are really no commentaries here. Having described a related topic, now the main topic is introduced. Each queen had 10 sons. First, the sons of the principal 8 queens are named. There's actually no purport for a while, but I'm gonna stick on this one for a little bit. And then if we got time, we'll move on. Jiva Goswami says, I will describe on the 10 sons of 8 queens, since describing others will increase the volume of this text too much. There's a lot of things that go into that. Om Ganda Timrandash Gananjana Shilakaya Chakra Om Litam Yeditai my Sri Gurve Namaha. I'm going to read a story from the Hari Bhakti Vilas. These are some of the stories that didn't make the cut, so to speak, because it just it's endless. Krishna's pastimes are unlimited. So, and Sukadeva Goswami only had 7 days to glorify Krishna. You could go on unlimitedly, not that Sesha could just, continually describing Krishna's pastimes and never come to the end. So we have here, first and foremost, Prajumna. And of course, he's Krishna's first son. And of course, there was a chapter dedicated to him, text 55, chapter 55. And then right before that, Krishna marries Rukmini, and then Krishna kidnaps, first he kidnaps her, then he marries her, and then they have a son. And so then Prajumna, that story tells how he's kidnapped. He's really an expansion of Vasudeva. And he was kidnapped by a demon called Sambara. So that story we read in Krishna chapter 55, as I mentioned. I'm going to read a story from the Harivamsa Purana, in which kind of fits in between, Rukmini gets kidnapped, they get married, and then typically what happens is the wife wants to have kids at some point. This is kind of like a ticking internal clock. They want to have. Sorry, the pollen's kicking up this morning. She wants to have a kid, so she approaches Krishna. So I want to have a son. Right? So I'm going to read that story. So what Krishna does, he performs like there's always some scars around some scars that they do in order to have a good son, to have a good marriage, and we see nowadays often in India, in Bhakti Vikas Swami talks about it from his lectures that when he's preaching, they buy a car, they want to talk to the sannyasi, would you bless my car? Will you bless my business? Will you bless my, So he gets a lot of that, instead of asking for, can you help me with Krishna consciousness? They want their, these blessings instead of having the mercy of. So, but there are all these, that's just the culture, the culture of the. So I'm going to start reading. This is, I mentioned Hari Bhakti Vilas, and title is Queen Rukmini asked Lord Krishna for a son. In response, the Lord decides to visit Mahadev. So he goes to see Lord Shiva and perform austerity. Krishna's going to perform some austerity. Krishna wants to perform specific sacrifices so he can have a good son. This is the Varnashram system. And he says if he doesn't perform these actions and these duties, how would he expect anybody else to do them? Right? He tells us in the Bhagavad Gita. So, we begin. One night, the Lord of the universe, Sri Krishna, was happily sleeping with his queen Rukmini after enjoying their intimate association. Rukmini, who was decorated with golden ornaments, said to her husband, "O Madhava, master of the demigods, I wish to receive a son from you. O Lord, this son should be very handsome and powerful, just like you. He should possess great prowess, due to having performed austerities, and he should be known as the leader of the Vrishni dynasty. He should be very learned in all scriptures and the foremost of self-realized saintly persons. My dear husband, please give me a son that possesses these attributes. You are capable of giving up us everything, as you alone are the giver, creator, and enjoyer, and the Lord of the universe. O Keshava, master of the demigods, it is well known that you fulfill the desires of your servants and your devotees, who fixed their minds upon you while engaging in your devotional service. O Janardana, Lord of the universe, if you consider me as your devotee, and if you are compassionate to me, then kindly award me a powerful son." Vishmapayana said, so this book is Vyasadeva, and he's actually speaking to Jaimini, Ganamanjaya. So he's telling a story. When his beloved queen Rukmini made this appeal, Lord Krishna, the enemy of Rukmi, glory of the Yadu dynasty, master of the demigods, and lord of the Yadus, replied, "My dear beautiful lady, I will give you the son of your dreams. My dear goddess, you are eternally my devotee. I will award you a son who will annihilate our enemies. A householder can conquer his enemies by means of his son, Putra. Another name of Naraka or hell is Put, and misery is another kind of hell. A son delivers his parents from that Put, hell, or distress. That is why everyone desires to have a son, for he provides benefit both in this life and in the next. My dear one, for a person with a son, the gate of Anataloka is open. The husband enters the womb of the wife as the husband enters the womb of his wife as a son. At that time, the wife becomes his mother. Then after 10 months, he comes out of the womb with a new body. Therefore, I will award you a learned and religious-minded son. To acquire a good son, I will now go to Mount Kailas. There I will worship the red and blue complexed complexioned Mahadev, who is perpetually engaged in the welfare of all living entities. And from him I will receive a son for you. I will please Virupaksha, Lord Shiva, the all-pervading, indestructible, unborn personality. By my austerities performed while observing celibacy, and thus obtained from him a benediction. In this way, I will depart to have a darshan of Lord Sankara. He will certainly benedict me with a son after being satisfied with my austerities. Upon my arrival, I will please Mahadev and Uma by offering my obeisances unto them. And on my way to Mount Kailas, I will first visit sacred Vajrakshrama, which is served by great sages and where there are many clouds of smoke produced by performance of fire sacrifices. The holy place of pilgrimage is always moistened by the water of the Ganges, and innumerable birds and wild animals wander about there, including thousands of lions and tigers. There are abundance of berry trees, and monkeys are always seen jumping from branch to branch. There are many orchards and massive trees decorated with groves of banana trees. In this place of residence for the great sages immersed in the study of the Vedas, who know the conclusion of the Vedas and are expert in citing Vedic evidence when engaged in debate. So he goes, travels there. Well, first, before he goes, he instructs the assembly of Yadus. He's leaving. He's going out of town. And tells them where he's going. And he reminds them to remain vigilant, because Krishna's the protector of the city. Even though Urgesh, he's got Balaram there, he's got a huge army to protect, he still feels some responsibility and that things that go on nicely. So he instructs Satyaki and Uddhava, and he kind of places restrictions on the residents of Dwarka. And he says that no one's allowed to leave or come, just stay here. And if you have to come, you have to get permission from the king. So he doesn't want anybody to go out and hunting, just stay within the city limits while I'm gone. And therefore, he don't have to worry about the citizens while in his absence. Everything will go on nicely. So as we just mentioned, Garuda comes and takes him to Vajrakshrama. And then when he goes there and he sees all these sages, as we just read, that perform these austerities, that they're all performing sacrifice and austerities, they all see him come. So they all come and greet Krishna. And these sages are described. They're all performing a little bit of different sacrifices. This is still the time of primarily it was deity worship, but this is Dwapara Yuga, which is deity worship, and then primarily sacrifices in Treta Yuga, and then meditation is in Satya Yuga. And then of course Kali Yuga is chanting Krishna's holy name. This is sacrifice that we perform in this age. So, some of these sages, they reside underwater. Some of these sages only eat once a year. So these are very powerful yogis. So they all come and see Krishna, and they all come and offer his obeisances. So then Krishna finds him a little hut, little bhajan kutir in this area, and he goes inside and he starts to meditate. Because his idea is he wants to perform a sacrifice to please Lord Shiva, so he can get a benediction to have a very powerful son that satisfy Rukmini. She gave this is He's gone out shopping. She gave him the list. This is what kind of son I want, She gave him the details. And so he wants to supply his wife with that. So we're going to pick up there where he's in the, going to an ashram to meditate. It's secluded too. It's not like he's going to be disturbed by other people walking around and, kids playing and these types of things. So this chapter is the Lord Krishna's meditation is disturbed. So Vishnupriya said, thereafter, all the powerful and all-pervading Lord of the outer dynasty, whose intentions are very difficult to understand, went to the place on the northern bank of the Ganges where he had previously performed austerities. There the Lord entered a sanctified hermitage. He took a tour of that beautiful, most enchanting place. Thereafter the Lord, who encourages the performance of pious acts, seated himself within that ashram. After being seated, the lotus-eyed Lord Krishna fixed his mind in trance. The Lord of the demigods began meditating on an indescribable object. When the spiritual master of the demigods became absorbed in the trance of meditation, so that his unwavering mind becoming like a lamp in a windless place, fearful sounds were suddenly heard in all directions. Eat, enjoy, by the mercy of Lord Hari, bring all the deer here. Here is Lord Vishnu, here is Lord Krishna. Here sits Lord Hari, O Chutana, O Madhava, O Keshava, O Master of the demigods. I offer my obeisances unto you. In this way, there was a huge commotion at night. Suddenly, many lions and the fiercest enemy of the deer began roaring loudly. O king, then there were sounds of lions chasing deer, dogs barking, frightened deers, bears growling, tigers, and trumpeting elephants heard in all directions. The combined sound resembled the grave roaring of a swelling ocean agitated by strong winds. The tumultuous sound at night certainly frightened everyone within the three worlds. Indeed, Lord Krishna's samadhi was broken by that great commotion. After regaining external consciousness, the Lord wondered, what is this deafening noise? Who is making so much noise while glorifying me? Alas, in this forest there is a sound of dogs, deer, and other animals running from their predators, trying to save their lives. This is very astonishing, and yet these sounds are combined with prayers glorifying me. After contemplating the situation in this way, Lord Krishna looked in all directions to find out the cause of the commotion. He then sat down and remained quiet. O king, suddenly a herd of deer came running towards where Lord Krishna was sitting. Chasing them was a pack of dogs. O king, then hundreds of thousands of torches were lit so that the darkness of night was dispelled and everything became clearly visible. Thereafter a host of ghosts were seen, terrible-looking hobgoblins, screamed frightening noises as they ate raw meat and drank blood. They look especially ghastly because of their crooked mouths. Krishna's trying to meditate, and his meditation is broken by this ghastly activity. Thereafter a host of ghosts were seen, terrible-looking hobgoblins. O king, countless deer were already slain or fallen unto the ground mortally wounded. Innumerable deer and elephants were seen running here and there, having been pierced by arrows. O descendant of Bharat, suddenly thousands of deer came running to the place where Lord Krishna was sitting. After coming before the Lord, they surrounded him. This is what I heard from my spiritual master. Soon thereafter, many witches with deformed features came to where Keshava was seated. All of them had children, and simply by seeing them, one's hair would stand on end. O Emperor, a pack of dogs then arrived upon the scene. Upon seeing these creatures surrounding him, Lord Krishna was greatly astonished. He thought, what is going on? Why have all these creatures come here? Who is offering me prayers and devotion? Upon whom shall I be pleased? Who will be liberated from material existence today by my mercy? While considering the matter like an ordinary human being, the Lord Hari remains seated. So in the next chapters, these ghosts approach Krishna. Two ghosts approach Krishna. Vaishnavapaya said, thereafter, two formidable ghosts, accompanied by many associates, arrived upon the scene. They were very tall. Their mouths were crooked. Their hair was brown. Their jaws were broad, and their tongues were long. They had long hair and fearful eyes, and they laughed hideously as they ate flesh and drank blood. Pretty gross. Well, these were gross. Krishna's seeing all this, but this is not like everybody there are haunted by this. And there's a reason for this. Their entire bodies were covered. This happens throughout all of Srimad Bhagavatam. Of course, it's not really the stories. This kind of gets a little bit gross and deep, but it's, Krishna's there to protect everybody. The entire bodies, and everybody wants to surrender to Krishna, even these ghosts. There's a method to their madness. Their entire bodies were covered with intestines of slain living entities. They had gigantic bodies, but their abdomens were thin. They held tridents from which human skulls hung. O king, the two ghosts were dangling many dead bodies. They loudly laughed while speaking in very abusive language, and that was just befitting their condition of life. As they walked, they shook the trees, pushing them from their thighs and legs. They gashed their teeth, and their bodies were covered with bones, marrow, and blood. They chanted, Krishna, Krishna, Madhava, and the other holy names of the Lord. They said, when will we have darshan of Lord Vishnu? Where is he now? Where does Lord Hari reside? Who can have his darshan? We have heard that he is somewhere in this hermitage. When can we meet Indra's youngest brother, Lord Hari, whose eyes are like blooming lotus flowers? We are anxious to see the all-pervading Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is addressed by the devotees as Pundarakasha, and by the impersonalism as Brahman. How can we see the unborn creator of the universe, Lord Hari, into whose transcendental body the three worlds enter at the time of annihilation? We are very eager to see the Lord and shelter of all living entities, whose energy expands to become the cosmic manifestation. We do not know what we had done in the past to receive the form of a ghost, which is hated by all living beings because of this most abominable condition of life. Because we subsist upon human flesh, we are polluted and create fear in the minds of all. Alas, we must have committed many very sinful activities in our previous lives. As a result of this, we have received this tainted existence. Still, even in this degraded condition of life, we experience some kind of material happiness. Upon the reactions of our past misdeeds, until the reactions of our past misdeeds are exhausted, we will have to remain in this ghostly body, which is hated by all living entities, and which simply gives trouble to others. We must have accumulated uncountable sinful reactions during these previous births. That is why even up until today, the results of those sins have not yet been exhausted. We wander. We wander over the earth with our soldiers and this pack of dogs, killing many varieties of living entities. Everyone in this world remains covered by ignorance when in childhood, so that they cannot understand what is to be done, what is to be avoided. And when they become a little grown up, their intelligence becomes polluted due to the attraction of material enjoyment. At that time, they simply remain busy accumulating more and more wealth, which they utilize for sense gratification. Remaining fully engrossed in sense gratification, they never try to understand what is to be done for their ultimate benefit. Those whose mind is fully absorbed in material enjoyment cannot understand what is ultimately beneficial and what is not. When they grow old, they become respectable of various diseases that cause them great distress. Still, controlled by their unrestricted senses, they cannot understand what should be done for their ultimate benefit. After death, they again enter into a mother's womb, which is surrounded by stool and urine, and thus they constantly suffer varieties of miseries. Thereafter, they come out of that deathful womb and again enter the cycle of repeated birth and death. While living in material existence, they simply accumulate more and more sinful reactions by performing acts of violence towards others. In this way, due to ignorance, they simply engage in sinful activity in the world of threefold miseries. This description of material existence applies to all the conditioned souls. It is not possible to spell material existence by means of any weapon or device. Those who consider the body as a self never bring about an end to the material existence. Such persons think, I will kill my enemy and take away all his wealth. I will plunder his wealth and then utilize it for my sense gratification. He is weak, whereas I am very strong, and so I will forcibly take away his riches. Being absorbed in such to other living entities. Lord Hari holds a conch shell, a club, and chakra, and is the primal Lord and the life and soul of all transcendentalists. He alone can provide the remedy for the disease of material existence, which is the root cause of distress. Knowing this, we want to have the darshan of Lord Hari, speaking this, which is the root of Lord Hari. Who are you, appearing like an ordinary human being? Who is your father? From where have you come? What brings you to this dense forest full of wild beasts? This forest is devoid of human habitation and filled with leopards. It is also the playground of ghosts and tigers and other ferocious animals. You appear very strong, and each of your limbs is endowed with exquisite beauty. Indeed, you look like the second Lord Vishnu. Your eyes are broad and beautiful like a lotus flower. Your complexion is dark, so that you appear like a blue lotus and the husband of Lakshmi. It appears that Lord Vishnu has personally come here after assuming this form to bestow mercy upon us. You are a demigod, Yaksha, Gandharva, Kanara, Indra, Kuvera, Yama, and Varuna, sitting alone in this dense forest, practicing meditation. O respected one, appearing as a human being, tell us truthfully, for we wish to know your actual identity. In reply to the ghost's inquiries, the Lord asked, I am a Kshatriya, born in the Yadu dynasty. The people of this world know me in this way. However, in reality, I am the maintainer of the three worlds, and my mission is to annihilate the miscreants. At present, I desire to go to Mount Kailash to see Uma's husband, Mahadev. This is my true identity. Now kindly tell me, who are you? This ashram is meant for Brahmins, And so what are you doing here? This is a very sanctified place known as Barakshama. Many Brahmins reside here, and those who are wicked are not allowed to enter. Perfected beings have always resided here performing austerities. Never before, like today, have a pack of dogs or flesh-eating ghosts have entered this place. Here, the deer should not be killed. Being hunted is not allowed. Ungrateful people, having a coarse nature, as well as atheists, should not even think of entering this holy place. I am the protector of this holy place of pilgrimage. Of this there is no doubt. If anyone dares to violate my order, I will personally chastise them. Who are you, and where do you live? Whose soldiers and whose pack of dogs are these? You should not enter this forest any further, because there are many sages performing austerities, and you will simply disturb them. Respect my instructions and answer my questions. Otherwise, I will restrain you with my superior prowess. Vishwambhai said, after being questioned by Lord Krishna in this manner, the two ghosts began to narrate their story. Among the two, one was very formidable. Having exceptionally strong arms, he began to reveal what was on his mind. The ghost said, please listen attentively to my narration. Let me first offer my respectful obeisance unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is unborn, the greatest, sinless, pure, the destroyer of sins, the master of the universe, and the maintainer of living entities, who is eternal, full of knowledge and bliss. If you wish to know about us, then kindly listen to our story. I am a ghost named Chantakarna. My mere glance is very inauspicious, and I am a meteor having deformed face and thus very, very dreadful to behold, like a second death personified. I am a follower of Lord Shiva's dear friend Kuvera. This is my younger brother, who also is like death, for death personified. We have come here hunting for the purpose of worshiping Lord Vishnu. This army is mine, and these dogs are also mine. I have come here from Mount Kailash, which is served by many ghostly creatures. I am a very sinful person, confined to the body of a ghost. Previously, I was accustomed to blaspheming Lord Vishnu. Indeed, I wore big bells on my ears so that Lord Vishnu's holy name could not enter my ears. As you understand, I was very serious about this. One day I went to Mount Kailash where I worshiped Lord Sankara. Since then, I have been regularly offering prayers to him. Being pleased by my powers, Lord Sankara said to me, can you ask me for a benediction? So I requested to him to give me liberation. After hearing my request, the three-eyed Lord Shiva said, there is no doubt that only Lord Vishnu is capable of awarding liberation to living beings. Therefore, you should go to Bhakti-rakshama after worshiping Lord Janardana, who is also known as Govinda. There in the ashram of Nar-Narayan Rishi, he will certainly award you liberation. After Lord Shiva, the wielder of the trident, spoke this to me, I understood Lord Govinda's glorious supreme position. When I desire to pray to him for liberation, I have come here. If you are interested, then listen as I continue my story. There was a famous city, Dvaravanti, situated off the western shore of the ocean, where the members of the Yadu and Vishnu dynasties reside. That city is surrounded by an ocean of all sides. At present, Lord Hari resides there. O Master, we have come with our followers to meet that Supreme Personality of Godhead who is residing for Dwarka, for the benefit of the world. Today we hope to see the Master of all living beings, Lord Vishnu, face to face. Well, I'm not going to be able to finish this. Yeah, I should have skipped some. Ultimately, they got cursed to be, because of his sinful activities and blasphemy, he got cursed, become a ghost. So did his whole army, his whole kingdom got cursed. And the only way he could get out of the curse is by Vishnu. And so there he comes to Krishna, and Krishna ultimately benedicts him, and they give up their ghost bodies, and he gives them a liberation, and they all go back home. Back to Godhead. So, thank you, Marisha. That actually was a very long story. It's been a while since I read it. I forgot how long it was. Okay. So just to have a son, Prajumna, you see, Krishna performs all kinds of things. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga.
Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Marhavatam Samasitam Buddha Sundarangam Kandar Agom Vikamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Andani Yasa Sakalen Priya Priti Manti Vasyan Vipan Kayanti Giram Naganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadhu Jala Vigrahasya Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami 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 Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami.
Sankirtan. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Vaskachali Satarine Namaste Saraswati Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Vaskachali Satarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Radha Golokananda, Radha Golokananda, Radha Golokananda, Shri Radhe Jaya, Radha Golokananda, Radha Golokananda, Radha Golokananda, Shri Radhe Jaya, Radha Golokananda, Radha Golokananda, Radha Golokananda, Shri Radhe Jaya, Radha Golokananda, Radha Golokananda, Radha Golokananda, Shri Jaya, Giri Govardhan 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 Jaya, Prabhupada Jaya, Prabhupada Jaya, Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Jaya, Prabhupada Jaya, Prabhupada Jaya, Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada.
Jai.
Anantakoti Vaishnavinda ki jai. Namacharya Sri Haridas Thakur ki jai. Prem Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaur Bhaktavinda ki jai. Jai Radha Krishna Gopakapana Shai Makunda Radha Kunda Giri Gaurana ki jai. Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Mai Pranavati Dham ki jai. Jagannath Puri Dham ki jai. Bhakti Devi ki. Srimati Tulsi Devi ki. Harinam Sankirtan ki. Brihat Mridanga ki. Samaveda Bhaktavinda ki. Gaur Premanandi. All glories assembled devotees. All glories assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories of Shri Shri Guru Angaranga Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Before chanting Shashrika, I just want to announce that on Saturday we'll be doing Harinam Sankirtan in Durham at 5 Points. I'll put the directions down on the announcement. Between 4 and 6 p.m. We used to go there all the time. We have only done it once in the last few years. And it's a very nice spot right in the middle of downtown Durham. So we'll be there 4 to 6 this Saturday afternoon for Harinam in Durham. Chaitodarpana marjanam bhava mahadavagni nirvapanam Shreyakairavya chandrika vitaranam vidyavadu jivanam anandam buddhi vardhanam pratipanam pranamrita swadanam sarvatmasnapanam param vijayate Shri Krishna sankirtanam nam namakari bahuda nija sarva shaktis tatrapitani amita smarane nakala etadrishita vakripa bhagavan mamapi dordaiva midrishami hajjani nanuraga trinadapi sunichena tarorapi suhishuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari Nadanam najanam nasundarim kavitam va jagadisha kamae mama janmani ishvare bhavatad bhaktir hoitaki twai ainanda tanuja kinkaram patitam mam vishamebavam budau kripayata vapada pankaja stita duli sadrashim vichintaya Nayanam Gavadashu Daraya Varanam Gadhridaya Gira Pulakarnishitam Vapukada Tavanama Grahane Bhavishyati Yugayatam Namishena Chakshusha Pravashayatam Shunayatam Jagat Sarvam Govindam Virahename Ashlishya Vapadamridam Manastumam Adarshanam Marmahata Karotuva Yatatava Vidadatu Lampato mat prananatastusa eva napara. Victory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life, of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss, and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious. Oh, my Lord, congregational chanting of your holy name alone can render all living beings. And thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, you've invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. Oh, my Lord, out of kindness, you enable us to easily approach you by your holy names, but I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw on the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service, birth after birth. O Son of Maharaj Nanda Krishna, I am your eternal servitor, yet somehow or other fall into the ocean of birth and death. Pick me up from the ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet. O my Lord, let my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name. When will my eyes be, and when will my hands and body stand and end at the recitation of your name? O Govinda, feeling your separation, I am considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I am feeling all vacant in the world in your absence. I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and he shall remain so, even if he handles me roughly by his embrace, or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, my worshipful Lord, unconditionally.